This time on whatever we want, we talk about
Black Adam. Spoilers, major, huge big spoilers ahead. We also talk about how Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson showed up to my random AMC screening and surprised me opening night. I also worked on Black Adam in the visual effects department. There are time codes down in the description if you'd like to jump around different points in the episode. Enjoy the movie review. Welcome back to Whatever We Want. We review content across all mediums of media, movies, TV shows, video games, and beyond to give you the most interesting behind-the-scenes insights, storytelling techniques, all that jazz, and more.
We talk about everything from Disney, Marvel, Pixar, DC, and some boulders and some pebbles and some rocks. So let's just jump into it.
PreBanter, peanut butter. Daniel, I just wanted to jump into this because I'm so excited to talk this week. How are you doing, first of all?
I'm doing good. Just tired, but I'm good.
Yeah.
Just working crazy as usual.
I want to first just skip all the news. We'll talk about that at the end because I want to talk about my experience with The Rock. But before that, I just want to say we're doing a Halloween sale for this next week. It ends on November 1st, so like 1 week from today, from when this episode goes out. It's BOO, Boo, is the code you put in for 20% off our entire merch store. I've got a shirt on right here for our video podcast listeners. There's a lot of cool stuff up there. I'm super proud of all of it. Shout out to Justine, our friend, again, for designing most of the stuff up there. But yeah, check it out. 1 week only. All right, back to the tank. So we both saw Black Adam, right?
Yes. No. Yes.
I was Daniel.
We did see it. I wanted to scare you there. No, I saw it with Evan and Tyler.
Yeah, so Daniel's, again, back in Pennsylvania, but I'm in, California. So I kind of want to go through and just tell you and recount, we can talk about my experience with seeing The Rock.
Yes.
Because, The Rock showed up at my screening.
Dude, it was so funny from our perspective because we were all getting ready to go watch it, right? And then you were Snapchatting us hey, I'm at the theater, just got off work, and you're like 2 minutes later, they're setting up a spotlight.
There's something up. That's what I want to go. I want to go through my detective process of how I figured it out, because it was just a random screening. I did work on Black Adam, and I will get into that. We'll get into the movie review later after I tell this story, and I do want to get into our thoughts on the movie and everything. But this wasn't for that. I worked on the movie, but this was just a random AMC
theaters
general audience screening I was going to on opening night. Yeah, but in Burbank. My suspicions started rising during the day. So I have the AMC Stubs A-list app. So I have the AMC app, and that's where I get all my tickets for. On it, the day of, the app gave me a notification. It was confirm you're going to the screening tonight. And I was like, what?
That's weird.
I've had this app for a few months now, and I've been getting tickets on it, and it's never asked me to do that. And I was like, okay. And I confirmed yes, I'm going. So that was the one thing I was like, okay, that's a little weird. And also just in general, this is not the AMC I usually go to. I wanted to go see it in IMAX, so I went to this one. I usually go to a different one closer to where I live, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to Burbank, going to go see an IMAX. So just so many things lined up perfectly. Because I didn't go to the one in Glendale, I went to the one in Burbank. The movie time that I was going to see was at 7:30, and I usually go see a 7 p.m. showing because I get off work at 6. It takes me an hour to get there, just with traffic, rush hour in LA, all that jazz. So I get to Burbank. It's been I get there and I finally get to the theater at 7:10, and so the movie doesn't schedule to start till 7:30. So I get there. 20 minutes is not that early, especially for opening night. I feel
Yeah, no, that's appropriate.
Yeah, but I get in, I walk into the theater, and I'm there's one other audience member in there, and then me. And I'm okay, it's a little weird that it's empty. And then there was AMC employees cleaning up from the last screening, they were sweeping. Mm-hmm. And then I sit down, I'm kind of waiting, and I hear one of the employees go I heard he's going to three screenings tonight, make 3 appearances. And I was like, what? And I'm who's he? And that's why I started messaging you. I was so then I'm okay, that's a little weird. I didn't want to get my hopes up because how crazy is it? It's probably not The Rock. Even if it is someone coming, that'd be crazy, but maybe it's just the director or one of the supporting cast members.
Maybe it's just the boulder,
Yeah.
The boulder.
The boulder. Yeah. The animated boulder walks out in real life. But yeah, as soon as I have that thought, a spotlight turns on, and they are testing the spotlight, and I'm what? That's interesting. Again, I'm the only audience member in the audience, sitting down right now. And then after all that happens, all the people leave. The employees leave, and then a swarm of more audience members come in. And so I'm like, did I like sneak past security? Like, was I not supposed to be in there at this time? But like, no one said anything when I was sitting in there, and I didn't see anyone when I walked in. I just like waltzed in. So like, if I was supposed to be there, I'm sorry. But like, so no one else has this information in the back of their minds. And then everyone like sits down and like are chatting, and so I'm looking around, and then like I kind of clock that there's this like businesswoman, this woman in like probably early 30s in like a very like business casual, pretty formal almost like outfit, like like suit, and she's just standing by the exits. First of all, I'm like, that's a weird outfit to come see Black Adam in. And then I'm like also clocking that she's not like going to a seat, she's like standing by the exit, and I'm like, that's interesting. Maybe she's like waiting for someone or like looking to see, I don't know. But yeah, so then I notice off to the right like that there's more security people kind of like in those business suits, and I'm like, okay, something is definitely happening. And then the previews end and the trailers, like the lights dim and the trailers start going, and I'm like, okay, so I see like the Whitney Houston trailer, I see the Black Adam trailer, there wasn't a Black Adam trailer before Black Adam. I see the weird Black Panther trailer.
Yeah.
And
that must have been crazy in IMAX actually.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then I like notice to my right, I like see in the shadow of the doorway what I'm now assuming is like The Rock's arm. Like I saw like a very big arm with like a tattoo like that looked similar to his, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that could be The Rock. I'm thinking like this could just be me connecting dots that aren't here, so I'm trying not to get my hopes up, but I'm like, that could have been like The Rock's arm, because like he like darted across the doorway to get on the other side.
Imagine if that's all you got, dude. Like it's just his arm that like
but then I'm like, so then I'm thinking, and again, I'm the only one thinking this. If anyone was like looking at me in the theater, I was like not paying attention to the trailers. I was like darting around, like looking, seeing like if I can see anything. People probably would have thought like I was like a terrorist or something, like trying to like bomb the theater. But I was just looking to see like clues. Like I was not paying attention at all.
After
but, like,
The Rock.
Yeah.
But oh god.
Then I see the arm, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I think that's him. And so I start like scheming. I'm like, if I like accidentally decide to go, or if I just happen to decide to go and get some water right now and like walk down there and see The Rock, like what are they going to do? Are they going to like be able to stop me? They can't be like, go back to your seat, The Rock's here, that'll ruin the surprise. So I'm about to like get up, but then I look to my right, and literally at the end of my row, not any other row, there's a big security guy there just at my row, like scanning and looking around, but he's literally stationed at the end of my row. And I'm like, I don't want to risk that. if the Rock is here, I don't want to get like kicked out. So I just sat there, and then a few minutes later, like the trailers end and the lights come back up, and then I hear like a bump, bump, bump of like someone testing, like tapping a mic, like bump, bump, bump. Mm-hmm. And I just whip out my phone, and then The Rock comes out, and everyone's like, oh my gosh. Like, and The Rock like was just there. And I was like, he just surprised us at this screening. Like it was so freaking cool. Like he came and like thanked the fans a lot, and just said how grateful he was. Like this was like 15 years in the making. Like, cause he was approached to play like Shazam, I think, back in like the early 2000s. And then,
oh really?
Yeah. And then they were like, you can either do Shazam or Black Adam. What do you want to do? Cause the original plan was to make, Black Adam and Shazam one movie. They were going to have both their origins in one movie. And The Rock was like, oh, I'll do Black Adam, because he saw the comics and was like, this is really cool, like a character that like looks like me, and like he really resonated with the character. Mm-hmm. And then eventually it split into like two different movies, like Shazam gets his own, Black Adam gets his own. But yeah, so The Rock's like, this has been like so long in the making. And then The Rock literally goes on and is like, yeah, we're so proud to introduce not just one superhero character, but 5, like with the JSA, and then he's like, we're also bringing back an old time favorite. Like he literally spoiling the movie. He spoiled the post credits before the movie, which I was like, okay, if it's The Rock spoiling it, whatever. But he was like he's been saying it in press interviews I've heard a lot. He's been like hinting at it, but this time he really was like, yeah, because like he said, he was like, yeah, so Black Adam's definitely the most powerful character. We're happy to introduce him in this movie. The most powerful character on Earth. The most powerful character on Earth. And then he was like, the most powerful character in the universe has been sidelined for a while, and you'll get to see him soon. And then like he pointed at a guy with a Superman shirt on like behind me and was like, this guy knows what I'm talking about. And I was like, okay, so I guess we know what's happening.
Oh my god.
So yeah, The people were hype about the post credits, but everyone knew it was coming.
Imagine being that guy though, who's just there like, what? Like he like connect dots between like the shirt or something for some reason. He's just like,
yeah, it's just a cameo of that guy.
Knows what I'm thinking.
Instead of Henry Cavill, it's just that guy in a Superman shirt walks up at the
end. He's like, yeah. So listen, Black Adam, we gotta talk.
Yeah. So then The Rock, like,
dude, that's so funny.
Thanked a ton of people, like, just thanked all the audience members. And as he was walking out, he like gave the mic back, and we thought it was done. But then he like stopped and got the mic back, and they had to like turn it back on.
Some WWE moment where he's like, "I'm not done. Here's some more spoilers."
Well, he kind of did a WWE moment because doesn't he? What does he do? Like, can you smell what The Rock is cooking, or what does he say?
I don't know.
I don't know his signature thing, but he did it. I like it was all blurred. I kind of don't remember exactly, but at the end he did it. But before that, he saw a guy and he got the mic again. He was like, "Hey everyone, just like wanted to like." I just ran to this guy here. Like, he's been my friend in the he's been my friend in Hollywood for the past like 15, 20 years. Like when I was first getting started, I did a little movie called Scorpion King, and everyone was like, "Oh, Scorpion King, blah, blah, blah." Everyone cheered. And he was like, "Oh, thank you." And he was like, but, this guy back in those days, like not a lot of people were like good to me in Hollywood or like too kind, but this guy here was like a real one and like real good to me and nice. I just want to shout him out and thank him. And he took a selfie on his phone. And I was like, dude, that's like so cool.
That's
that
sweet.
He did that and like ran to that guy. He was like, "Yeah, thank you." And then he actually like left. But yeah, it was just like so surreal. So I also want to say that I had that right before I went in to see the movie. So like my perception, I don't know how accurate it is going to be because I was so hyped on just seeing The Rock. So I'm trying to review this objectively, but also keep in mind that anything I say, take it with a grain of salt because I did see The Rock right beforehand. So like I was all like hype and stuff.
I'll be the critical one then this time.
Okay. Well, first I have to ask, did The Rock go to your screening?
Well, you see, the thing is, we did see him before the movie. It was like, it wasn't the trailers. It was like, the thing is just like, "Oh yeah, go watch this movie, yada yada." So we got like a pre-trailer like snippet of him. So I guess
really?
we saw him. Yeah.
Did he show up in person to yours?
No.
I guess Dwayne likes me more then.
Yeah, it's not like we're in Pennsylvania.
That'd be crazier if he showed up.
Yeah, dude. Like, we were talking about that. We're like, Tyler was like, "I give it a 2% chance that he's gonna be here." And everyone was like,
2%? That's really high.
I'm like, that's generous. I'm like, and I was like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm going to give it a 0.2. I'm like, I feel like that's still pretty generous. Yeah. Like, honestly.
Dang. What? So The Rock did just show up to like my screening randomly. If you, I'm curious if you could have any actor show up before like a screening for their movie, what would it be? What if this is like a random actor for like not their movie, like. Like The Rock shows up before like Christian Bale's Batman or something.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight. I don't know.
I was gonna say Owen Wilson just in front of like Batman or something,
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
It's like, I'm a big fan. Excited to be
here. I don't know. That's tough.
John Favreau. Because he's also an actor.
Yeah.
In front of anything. I just love John Favreau.
That'd be good. Yeah. Other than that, I was gonna say maybe like Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Like a Spider-Verse thing, but honestly, I think Jon Favreau would be a pretty good pick too. Pretty good pick.
Nick Jonas in front of Jumanji.
Oh my god, no. Didn't you see the Jonas Brothers one time when they played in Penn State?
They played at Penn State in 2016, and I was 19, so I couldn't go to the bar. They played just at a random bar at Penn State, so I wasn't 21. But they were there. I was like within a mile of the Jonas Brothers, so that was cool, I guess. Because Joe Jonas had his 21st birthday at Champs at Penn State. Just because they were on tour when he was turning 21, and I think he was like going from Philly to Pittsburgh or vice versa. And
wait, you were 19, which means I was probably 20. So we're only a year off from the Jonas Brothers?
No. So sorry. So the Jonas Brothers, like years ago, Joe Jonas is like in his 30s now. Back when the Jonas Brothers, before they broke up for the first time, they were on tour, and when they were on tour back in like the like late 2000s, the 2000s, whatever you call that, they were like on tour, and they just happened to be that at midnight on Joe Jonas's 21st birthday, they were in State College like years and years ago. So he had his 21st at Champs, and since then has had a special place in his heart for Penn State and Champs. So he like periodically comes back. Like he's been to a few games, and they played when the Jonas Brothers reunited. They all came and played. They just stopped randomly on their tour, like it wasn't like announced. Yeah.
Nice.
So, do you have any other questions about my Rock experience before I jump in? We jump into the movie review.
How big were his pecs in the moment?
He was pretty big.
Were they CGI in reality?
Yeah, he just had someone constantly like holding up like
a sign or something like
that. I don't know. No, but he had just had like a vest on. I'll put the video in the what's it called? The video version of the podcast, and I'll put the audio, I guess. You can hear the Rock speaking to us.
The DC universe is about to change. You guys ready to see Black Adam?
But yeah, he was like pretty massive. Just his arms were huge.
I feel like if you split me in half and like compress me, I can make up like his arms, just his arms, which means technically I think The Rock is like 3 times my mass, but in muscle, which is like big.
Which is crazy because he's like
I'm a
in
small
his 50s,
guy.
I'm pretty sure, or like late 40s. Is he 50?
I'm gonna say 50.
50. He's 50.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to.
That's a good place for you to cut me off. It was the first number. I was like, yeah, no, I'm right. 50.
I wasn't going to keep going. All right. Yeah, any other questions about The Rock before we jump in?
No, I think I'm good. It seems like a fun experience. Again,
yeah.
When you were first telling us this stuff, though, like I was kind of like...
It was happening like real time. I was messaging you like, I think something's happening.
And I thought, because didn't you work on it?
Yes, I did work on Black Adam.
So you worked on Black Adam. So I thought it was like some kind of showing or something like that you were... Like, you know, like a cast of crew thing, like what we did for Thor: Love and Thunder. Then you just hit me up later and you're like, no, this was just random.
Just
like,
random. He just showed up.
That makes it even better.
Yeah. Dude, I was like so, like after the fact, I called my mom and like told her about it. And I was like, that was crazy. Like I just saw The Rock, like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Like, wow. Like just, yeah, kind of cool. All right. Well, so that was the experience before the movie. Let's talk about the movie itself, Black Adam, our thoughts on it. What do you think overall?
I thought it was a great movie. My biggest problem was the pacing between the second and third act.
I agree with the pacing issue. I don't think it was a great movie. I think it was not great.
I like it's great in the sense of what it did for the character. What it did with the Justice Society was kind of... I feel like the DCEU needs to figure out what they're doing with the different characters in the different groups instead of just putting them in there and having Amanda Waller say, oh yeah, you go do that. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But all in all, I still think it was a great movie. Like, it was pretty good.
I don't know. I felt like the beginning was really rushed with all the exposition in the past, like in the ancient times. Like, it was so much voiceover and like so much to take in all at once. Like, he was like, in the ancient times there was this crown, and then it was Eternium, they had to mine it, and then there was a champion and he overthrew the king, and then it was like present day, and I was like, oh my gosh, what? Like, it just a lot happened. And I do understand that they couldn't go into much detail with that because it would spoil the twist that the champion is actually the son that is now dead, and this is Black Adam's like the father. So I do understand that, but that just felt very I knew that fast. From the rip. Okay, good for you.
I'm just saying
that doesn't change that I'm still upset about the pacing of it.
I'm just saying, like, that's the thing. Like, some people would have known that it was like him being the father from the rip. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but still, the pacing just of that, like all the exposition of like the ancient times was fast, and like just so much voiceover, like so much to just like accept. Like it was, it felt a lot of like telling. Like you're supposed to show, don't tell, and it felt like I was being told a lot at the very beginning. That's just one thing I didn't really like. We can get into like likes and dislikes. I have some words about the villain, the like devil that just like appeared at the end.
Devil went down to Georgia.
Yeah. But what do you think? Just so that's what you like think overall. What do you think of just like The Rock as Black Adam and his performance?
That's the thing. Perfect.
Yeah.
Really perfect. Yeah. But the one thing is that he's supposed to rule Kandor.
So you don't like how he smashed the throne at the end?
He's supposed to rule. That's his thing.
In the comics, they could change it. Like they could. I mean, the MCU doesn't always keep everything completely comic accurate. I love how that felt a little weird when he like was like very particularly like posing on the.
He's like he did it like perfectly.
They were like, all right, let's get the poster shot. All right, now we can smash it.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, let me post the thumbnail. Okay, now we're done. Like a YouTube thumbnail. Yeah, but no, I thought The Rock's like physicality just like is perfect for the character of Black Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because like The Rock, I feel like plays a very similar character in like all of his movies, and this one definitely felt like slightly different, but not like anything totally different, which is what I think he was kind of hinting. He was like, "This is a completely new character for me, like a lot darker." It definitely was like darker, but it didn't feel like too different from like all The Rock's other characters in my mind. I don't know.
It depends on what he's doing. Like he does some. Like I know he's done some like comedy stuff too. There's like this wasn't like as it was okay. There were
comedic moments. I thought they were pretty,
moments. Yeah,
I thought they were decent. What do you think of the comedic moments?
I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. Well,
yeah. I really like the whole trope of him like trying to learn how to do like a catchphrase throughout it, and then he finally like nails it at the end. I think that was pretty funny.
Yeah,
I feel like they kind of toned back the grittiness and like gore of it towards the end. Like in the very beginning, I was like, oh my gosh, like when he like vaporized and turned like this soldiers into like skeletons.
Yeah, dude, that was dope.
Ripped the guy's arm off. Like I love that sequence. I wish we kind of got more of that because I felt like towards the middle, up until like the end.
You just gotta think about how expensive that's going to be throughout the entirety of the movie. Like doing all those CGI shots as compared to just taking somebody and like throwing them, which you can just have like somebody on the line and
still,
pull them.
It was cool. Like I don't know, like, yeah, I thought that was really dope, like all the gore and stuff.
But I'm also not, we're playing devil's advocate. I'm not going to disagree with you though that it was beautiful, the way that like how gory it was and like how because that's the thing we don't really see that. Well, we haven't really seen that often. We haven't seen that often until like much more recently, where we're getting much more like accurate with like superhero like abilities, especially with like the boys. Like I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips and stuff.
Just like how
just
brutal
being, like,
the violence
brutal
is.
and visceral. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were you playing devil's advocate for?
I was saying like I understand both perspectives. Like
you like agreed with me, and so you said I'm playing devil's advocate, and then agreed with me. Like I don't know what.
Well, no. Like there. From the one side, I wish there was more gore and stuff, but the other side, I'm like I understand why. Like financially and time wise, and
well, they had to find the line of PG-13. Also, I feel like I have to consider that.
True.
Also, just The Rock, before we move on to The Rock, his physicality, like, it was really cool. I saw a bunch of, like, behind the scenes in his interviews that, like, apparently his suit had, like, padding similar to, like, Zachary Levi's for Shazam at first, and then they were like, this looks ridiculous, and also The Rock is, like, huge enough already, so they just took it all out, so it's all just, like, him, and, like, he looks great, but, yeah, they, like, originally had padding, and he was, like, they were like, nah, this isn't gonna work, so they took it out, and, like, it's all just, and, like, he looks great, and I think the suit looks really cool.
That's such a flex, like literally though. Like,
yeah,
like, bro, I'm too buff to get that padding out of here, man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What did you think of the like Quicksilver like slow-mo scenes? There was a few of them.
I feel like the first one was good, but I feel like the music should have been different.
I agree. I think I thought the like visuals and like it was really cool, but the music I was like, they're trying to do Quicksilver. Like they're like,
it wasn't like pacing with it. Well, for me, it was just like the music wasn't pacing with it directly because it was what song was it again? It was like
I don't know, but yeah, no, I felt like the music just was a little off, either with the choice or like the timing of the music. Like it felt like they made the scene and then like slapped that track on instead of like crafting the scene with the track kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't bad though. I thought it was cool. Like I did like the fast, like I love those Quicksilver scenes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The second one with like the Western shoot, it was a good concept.
That was funny when he just like lightnings all of them.
Yeah, he's just
like in the hype up. Yeah.
I like how he did like this too. Like that was great. It was like,
yeah. Tell the Man in Black.
I feel like it would have been better if it was like clear that he absorbed to do that first, like the concept of like how to shoot. You know what I mean?
I
don't know. Like I get like he saw the TV, but like I don't know. Could have been like he's like they're watching and be like, what the heck? And then they do it, and then he'd be like, ah! And then do it.
Yeah.
Instead of him just instantly like shooting out Clint Eastwood. I don't know. Anyway, this is me being nitpicky at that point, honestly. Here's my biggest thing though. I think we gotta talk about the pacing, honestly.
Okay.
Because overall, his arc was like, I'm not a hero, to then I want to be a protector. With like, I'm not a hero because I like kill, but I'm still a protector. It's like the weird definitive line. I feel like we could have gone that much more cleanly.
Yeah, because he sacrificed himself, and then all of a sudden Dr. Fate's like, hey, we actually need you, bro. And he's like, all right, I'm the protector. Like, there was nothing that changed within him. It was just like they needed help, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think you're right. That's like the moment that didn't really like work because he was like, "All right, I'll like sacrifice myself if that's what is the best for everyone." And they're like, "Oh, just kidding. We need some assistance." And he's like, "All right, I'm now the protector." Like, yeah, that kind of switch was a little like,
Yeah. So I feel like what would help with that throughout the movie is one, the arc to where they're like revealing that it was his son that was the original chosen. That happened a little bit sooner.
Yes, because he kind of was just like, "All right, no, I'm the dad."
Yeah, and then 2, get into the motive behind him. Like, what is he doing and why is he doing it, right? Because for a large portion of the movie, he was just
you like don't know. Yeah, he's just floating around, looking at things.
Breaking through walls, and he's like,
that was so funny, he just kept not using doors. No one like called him out. I would have been like, bro, like
there's a door right there. I mean,
one
Dr.
time he
Fate
literally
did
went
later.
right beside the window and then just crashed through. I was like, what?
Why?
I did like the line, like, "Do you guys not have doors back then?" He was like, "No, we had doors." Like, that's how he got in and out of places.
The way I would have altered it in that case then would be, obviously, the whole thing's about this conflict of him, right? And like that he wasn't able to protect his family.
Yeah.
Right? So I see what they were trying to do, was trying to make that be like, okay, now I can be a protector there. But like it wasn't parallel with how it happened at the end.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think looking back on the movie, like after, I think you're right. Like if they would have shown that like he was actually the dad, like that was the twist earlier. Because like looking back now, it's really cool to see that like, oh, that's why he like latches on to this single mother and little like son,
because he's trying to protect them.
It's because he lost his wife and son. Like there's parallels with that, but that just like I had to like consciously like make that connection because it wasn't like really shown too well, and like it was shown kind of late. So like, and then by the time I like realized that, like we were already in like the devil like appeared, and I was like, what?
Yeah, like they should have put more emphasis on his failure in the act of protecting there. Like it kind of got there towards the end again with like the whole thing like, okay, I wasn't the original chosen, and then Hawkman iced him up. But
I think that is like a good internal conflict, but there was just a disconnect between that internal conflict, which was strong, and then the external, how it was externalized. Like they were trying to show that in like the devil, and like that just like didn't really connect. And then there was also like a weird middle ground where like Hawkman was like kind of a villain, and I did like the whole idea that like Hawkman and like the JSA are like coming in trying to like be the good guys, but technically they're like helping the people that are like hurting the citizens of this country, and like the Black Adam's like supposed to be liberating them. So I did like that like psychology like a little bit, but like there was just like a lot going on with that in addition to the Rock's internal struggle and the like devil. Like I feel like there were like 3 kind of conflict areas that weren't balanced well or fleshed out enough, each of them, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I feel like also the way that the Justice Society approached the situation wasn't proper. Like
just going in and like
they just went in and were like, "Hey, we're gonna beat the shit out of you." Like, why?
Yeah.
Like you could talk to the dude. Like, of course you're gonna have to fight him eventually, but like they literally just walked in and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna knock your teeth in," and of course he's gonna be like, "No, you're not. I'm gonna defend myself." And then just turn into all that. Like he's just existing. So it's just like. And then also that also then led into the problem later too, where they're like, oh yeah, now we have the ancient text, which is kind of just like brought up.
Text.
Yeah, that explains that he wasn't the chosen one, so they knew.
Yeah, I also like in the very beginning, I also thought that like when they walk into the tomb and then she just like happens to read like the perfect bit of exposition on the wall that she just happens to be looking at. I was like, what? And then like keeps going. I'm like, okay.
So I don't know. Also at the same time, I feel like the people of Kandar should know the history more than some other guy, even if he is just a society member. Like it's their like actual heritage and history, even though it may be altered and stuff. But like, I don't know.
Maybe that's, that's like they're trying to be like, oh well, like society has lost its ways and like isn't in like tradition and roots, kind of like Legend of Korra season 2, where they're like the Water Tribe comes in and is like, oh, like we should go back to our roots with society, and maybe they've just lost their way and forget history and they're doomed to repeat it. But they just like didn't really explain that well if that was what they were going for.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the JSA and like the civic members and the cast and everything.
Yeah.
What do you think of Hawkman?
I loved him. Beautiful portrayal of Hawkman. Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure, isn't Hawkman able to reincarnate? I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
Man.
Well, yeah, but like, I'm pretty sure he and
Phoenix.
Hawkgirl, like, I'm pretty sure their origins come from Egypt, and then they were imbued with some magic from like a like
of course
one of the
there
Pharaoh's
were.
priest people. So whenever they die, they'll then be able to reincarnate and come back.
Yeah.
So my whole thing with Dr. Fate being like, I don't want you to die. I'm like, he's technically like, it's not gonna be like him, but he'll still like come back. Like it's.
I like that
know.
Hawkman was just kind of like the dad of the group, like trying to keep this like disjointed family together, and like I don't know. Actually, the whole like you and I with Atom Smasher, I was like, what?
That happened
like,
a little bit too many times.
Yeah, I think it was
honestly.
like one too many, and I was like, okay, got it. Oh, also, sorry, I just realized I'm wearing this hat that the AMC gave me
Oh yeah, you got the hat after.
for free. Yeah, so that was cool. I have my Black Adam hat on as well for our audio listeners.
I didn't even realize it because like your hair is dark and then like the headphones kind of like encapsulate it.
You just
So
thought
I
this
was
was my hair.
well,
Just,
no,
like,
it's like,
pushed
I didn't
down.
even pay attention to it, and then I saw the bolt and I was like, oh wait, yeah.
I just got a lightning bolt died into my hair perfectly. It has to be like laying this way. But yeah. So yeah, Hawkman. I thought his like suit and look, his powers were pretty good.
Yeah.
It's definitely like it's tough to like create 4 new characters like and like have their own backstory and set of powers. And I think they did like a decent job with some of it, but I just kind of felt like it was like a lot like thrown in at once. I'm wondering like how much of the decision to make Shazam and the Black Adam's origin stories separate was like a studio like creative decision, or like The Rock was like, I want my own movie, and then like they threw in a bunch of JSA members. I'm wondering just how much behind the scenes was like that, because like The Rock can like demand that, you know.
True, yeah.
I don't know.
I honestly don't know. It'd be interesting to see, especially with how much time you said was put behind this, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, so Dr. Fate, we talked about him a bit. Thoughts on Pierce Brosnan's portrayal?
Perfect Dr. Fate. I'm
Yes.
sad to see him go. It was...
I was so sad.
I think it's kind of dumb.
I thought Hawkman was going to get the helmet, and like I thought he was going to keep the helmet like when he was allowed to touch it.
And I thought
that was so sick when he took the helmet. It was like kicking butt.
I learned
with
this
it.
from an old friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Then
yeah, no, because I
disintegrates.
thought they're going to...
Maybe that was a trick. Maybe that's like a fake out so that like on the official report, Waller doesn't know that he still has the thing.
helmet?
Like it was an illusion that the helmet dissolved or something.
Yeah, that seems like a very DC thing to do, not gonna lie.
I'd be okay with that if we get more Dr.
Like
Fate-esque powers.
off-screen- Well, yeah, but then... Yeah, I guess. I feel like they should just have him keep it. But
Yeah.
either way, if it is come back that way, I feel like they need to incorporate a younger Dr. Fate, because I'm pretty sure that's also what happens in the comics too. Where
Not Hawkman, you mean?
No, Hawkman wouldn't be Dr. Fate. No.
Like taking up the mantle. I thought it'd be cool if like they combined his powers, like Hawkman / Dr. Fate powers. I don't know.
Meh.
Hawk Fate, Dr. Hawk, Dr. Man,
Dr. Hawk.
Dr. Hawk. That'd be kind of cool. Dr. Hawk. I don't know.
Dr. Man Fate.
Dr. Man Hawk Fate. PhD in flight. I don't know. All right. Dr. Fate, Pierce Brosnan. I thought he was, fantastic, because that character definitely could have been like cheesy. The whole sequence of him like fighting off the devil like at the end one-on-one. Although I didn't like the devil, I just thought it was like really cool how like he was like holding his own and like speaking to Black Adam to try to break him out. I thought that whole sequence like leading up to Black Adam like being released was really cool.
Yes.
I did like that.
And then he just kind of took it at the end. Like, he was kind of just standing there after all of his dupes were gone. And he was just like, all right, it's my time. Like, he could have totally moved or done something. And then he's just like, you know what? I want to die.
All right, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he just stood there because like he knew, like, no matter what he did, like, because he could see the future. Maybe he was like, this is like it. Like, no matter what I do, if I try anything,
no, it was more that he wanted that to be his fate.
Dr. Fate. Okay. Well, actually, I have a TTTT. Did you know that Liam Neeson almost played Dr. Fate in Black Adam?
Really?
Yeah, so...
I will find you. I will tell you your fate.
So the director, Jama Colette Sarah, the director of Black Adam, he and Liam Neeson like worked together on like a lot of films in the past, like 3 or 4 films. So Liam Neeson was like just being considered because Jama had like a relationship with him. But then ultimately they decided to give the role to Pierce Brosnan, and I think that was a great choice, honestly. It would have been cool to see Liam Neeson, but Pierce Brosnan did a fantastic job.
I concur.
Yeah. All right, so back to the tank.
Adam Smasher.
Noah Centineo.
I thought it was a good.
I thought it was good too.
Incarnation of the character.
It was cool that like this is like he's like green. This is like his first like mission. It's like his uncle's suit, like a hand-me-down. I thought the eyes of the suit kind of reminded me of like Deadpool almost.
Same. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay,
It was like Deadpool
here
like his
is
whole
the
even,
thing.
like, personality being like just talking, and I don't know.
Here, hold on. I don't know. I might even be able to find this. Give me 1 second. I want to talk about his suit because the suit had the freaking, I don't know what it is. There's just like the subtexture on a suit nowadays to where it's like this weird, like, I don't know what we call it. It's like a hexagonal triangle pattern. It's like these lines that kind of come together like a triangle, like, but it's so common now. Like I see that pattern in like all these super suits, and I'm like, use a different freaking texture. Honestly, like if somebody does like 3D modeling and texturing, I'm like, use something different, please.
It looks cool though.
Yeah. But like, I don't know, I like to have different subtextures. That's what they actually like about the Spider-Man PS4 game, and with same thing with Miles Morales too. Was Insomniac used a bunch of different subtextures for the suits.
Okay, so you didn't like Atom Smasher's suit?
No, I like the suit. I just didn't like the subtexture.
Okay,
because it's used everywhere.
What did you think of Cyclone and like their kind of like mini relationship, Atom Smash? There was like one scene where they like start to flesh it out.
Me and Tyler looked over at each other at one point, and we're just like, just fuck already. Like, there's so much tension there.
I feel like okay. I kind of wanted more. Like I didn't think there was like much
really
hinting. Maybe I missed it because I was hyped on The Rock. But I think there was like one scene where they actively like talk about it when they're in like the medical bay, which I actually did work on that scene. So I did see that scene like a few months ago. Maybe that's why, because I've seen that scene so many times. I was just like, come on. Like I thought there was gonna be more scenes than just this one.
I don't know. It was the relationship thing was fine, I guess.
I thought also the slow-mo of her like twirling and then doing like
a
pose.
Was so stupid.
It kept, like I thought it was cool like the first time, and I was like, all right,
they kept on doing
what's happening, and then it happened like 5 times, and she's like, how many ways can she like pose? I was like, what is happening?
It was like literally if you took a screenshot of it, right, and like put it in like a poster format and put L'Oreal like Paris or something like that, or like some kind of like modeling agency, it would have looked like something like for that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And put it like on the front of a magazine. I don't know.
I thought it was cool.
Really what it looked like.
They were doing like a new creative way to do wind power, because I feel like every way to do wind power has been like done under the sun, and this was like different. Green, I guess.
It was green, yeah. Like, yeah. Then she also almost killed a child.
Yeah, she's green. She's literally green. Like she's new. I did not even try to make that joke.
Oh my god.
But yeah, maybe when she like gets more experience, she like changes color. She becomes like weathered and is like just desaturated.
She becomes weathered because she's wind.
Yeah. Oh my! The weather puns are just are raining down. That was one too many. Like many things in this film.
Yeah. Actually, come to think of it now, yeah, that kind of seems to be the trend of this, is things kind of did repeat a lot. In some cases it was good, other cases it was bad, but because it happened so many times, I feel like it was a problem in that sense.
Yeah. Let's go through just rapid fire some things we did like and some things we didn't like that we haven't like talked about. So I think honestly the visuals were very good for the most part. I thought. Yes,
on par.
I thought Skinny Rock did not really. It was like weird seeing his. It's just weird because I know how big The Rock is, and because I saw him in person.
Because you saw him in person.
but honestly, like I thought it was pretty decent. Like that those effects.
It was, all it was is there's like Black Adam is like modern day Rock. Have you seen that photo of The Rock back when he was like in like high school or something?
Yeah,
he looks like a full grown man in his underwear. Yeah, he's just like sitting there like all laid back. That's all it did. It just put him back to his high school years. It's like he's still buff, but he's like, he's not like bouldering Rock.
Right.
He was smoldering Rock.
Smoldering Rock, yeah. He does his. Isn't the smolder like his like look?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah. He should have done that.
He should have done that as Superman, or just like as soon as Superman shows up, like,
as Superman shows up, he's like,
and then does the smolder. Yeah.
Oh, dude,
but speaking of just the visuals, I wanted to go through and talk about to you just the stuff that I worked on, because I haven't told you about it because like I couldn't tell you until the movie came out.
I'm assuming because a lot of the stuff is either
my company specializes in like holograms and screens.
Yeah, you do holograms and screens, so I'm assuming most of your stuff was in Hawkman's.
Yeah, I have seen pretty much every scene. I saw pretty much every scene in Hawkman's ship before like the movie came out. So I knew like all of the exposition, and I was just like, this movie better be more than just exposition. And that was like kind of true. So like I knew a lot of the movie going into this. I just didn't know like how it was gonna be paced out. But like so like a lot of the Hawkman stuff like in the ships, like when they're like about to go into the mine to like try to save the kid.
Did the kid have a name, by the way? I feel like he had a name and I never picked it up.
He probably did. Skateboard Kid. That's his name.
Yeah.
That's his credit. Like when The Rock like flies in to go solo, and there's like image of like him on the map, like shooting by. Our company did that. We also did like, when the JSA first is like approaching the country and like there's that hologram of Black Adam like spinning and like glitching in the middle between Pierce Brosnan and Hawkman.
Yeah.
That we did that as well. We did like a ton of map backgrounds, like the whole medical scene. We did all the screens for that. When they're analyzing the crown, that was a whole sequence that we did where we did all the maps in the background. Yeah, we did a lot of comp work for that. We also, the bikes, those like jump bikes. That was a kind of cool thing.
I like that.
There was like flashes of like Eternium's level rising right before it like exploded.
Oh yeah, that's right. You guys probably did that.
Yeah. So we did Eternium levels right. It's actually really interesting seeing how particular they were about just like that small of a thing, because it was like like a half-second shot, and we like went back and forth a few times. Like at first, I think we put like emergency flashing, and they were like, no, we were kind of looking for a different look, and then we put system failure flashing, and they were like, actually, can we have like do something with Eternium, because like that's like the big thing we want to cycle that in.
So we then Eternium low,
Eternium levels rising, because like it means it was unstable and about to explode. So then that was like the final thing we did on. But there was like a few iterations back and forth, which I thought was just cool to see, because like again, it's like half a second shot that like probably no one's gonna pay attention to, but like the amount of care that goes into that is pretty cool. Yeah. What do you think of the bikes? Just like those like jump bikes.
I thought they were cool in concept. I feel like they should have been built upon more.
Yeah.
How is that technology now, like with Eternium being used?
Yeah, it kind of just like was just accepted. Like we have these bikes and accept it. And like, yeah, like I wouldn't really know they like ran on Eternium unless I was in those meetings and saw like the Eternium levels rising, and like the director explained to us like it's because they are running on Eternium. I was like, oh, okay.
Also they had that one missile when he got done with the first Quicksilver scene that was shot, and that was it. That was like the only
it never.
weapon.
They were like, this is the only thing that can hurt him, and then like it never came back.
Get up again.
Yeah.
That could have. I feel like that could have helped it out a lot. Actually, it would have been cool to see. Again, say we made the changes with the pacing and all that. Get to the final sequence with the Devil Dude. It'd be cool to see Devil Dude get to like a weapon stash of those or something, picks them up, and then tries to hurt him with that, and then he still like comes out and prevails, even because he's Black Adam. But like, you know what I mean? Like just to like up the odds a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like the whole Eternium thing was like dropped. Like the crown was like the most important thing, and then like obviously like let him become the devil,
which is also made out of Eternium, I guess, because I had the same thing.
Yeah, because like when he punched it, like it hurt him. But yeah. Once that like the crown was dropped and he became the devil, like there was no use for the Eternium again, even though it was like such a big deal.
Like actually hold up, if he had the crown, that would have been so cool as like a battle thing. Again, he had the horns, sure, but like imagine if he had like the crown on and then he was like with, I don't know, somehow without the horns, or maybe he had it like on his chest and was like and like try to like stab him with it or something, because it was sharp. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, so yeah, that's just some of the stuff that I worked on. Hey, actually, and my name's not in the credits for this one, so I actually don't know legally how much I'm allowed to talk about. But yeah, Warner Brothers only allowed Cantina, like my company, to have one person like get their credit. So they only put Aaron, who was like the supervisor that I worked with on this. He was the VFX soup and did like a lot of work. He just definitely deserved the credit. But thank you for the opportunity, Warner Brothers. Please don't get upset with me. What else did I like? I liked the shot of Black Adam ripping the devil in half.
Yes.
That was sick.
That was dope. I also like too, stuff like being blood and stuff like that. It was like the like molten like innards.
Yeah, and like, that's probably how they get away from like being rated R, because it's not actually blood, it's lava. Yeah, the devil at the end, like the villain the whole time, like he was dead for like the first act, we thought. Then he suddenly appeared again, and like as like that random dude, and then he died for like a solid 20 minutes of the movie, and then all of a sudden is back as the devil. Like it was like really inconsistent, and like like then they reveal like at the like right before he becomes a devil, he's like, and I'm actually the descendant of the king. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that too. It's just like it just keeps on adding on a little bit in there. And yeah, I know the true history. You wept when your son got murdered. Like, yeah, of course I did.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a little like, this definitely isn't like the top of my DC rankings. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for what it sets up for the future with like Man of Steel 2 and like Superman coming back, Superman versus Black Adam, and then maybe Shazam versus Black Adam.
I don't know what they're... It seems like they're heading towards Apocalypse, but I don't know if they are. I honestly think with how things have been going with DCEU, I think honestly they probably just need to either get to a point where they have, well, that's the thing, even with Flashpoints with Ezra Miller, like, come on, man. Like, all the drama with him. Like, you could fix it with that, have like a Flashpoints thing, and then have things kind of reset, or go do like a whole new 52, but in the DCEU, have it based off of that. But that doesn't, I don't know. I would like to see Injustice live action. We've gotten a lot of versions of Injustice.
The video game's fun.
But like seeing that in live action would be dope.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know what the plan is. It was cool seeing Henry Cavill. He looked great in the suit. I thought like his hair looked like great as well. Like
he didn't have his weird mustache CGI.
Yes, thank goodness.
I was surprised he was in his red and blue though,
and not like the black. Is this their way of saying that Zack Snyder's Justice League is not canon? Or
I mean, technically, wait, yeah, that's right. Was he still in red and blue in the non-Snyder cut?
Yeah, he was in red and blue in the Whedon cut.
Okay, so that makes sense then.
Maybe this is just a different Superman or something. Maybe it's just like maybe in Black Adam's universe, it's a separate universe, and it's just Henry Cavill, the man, like the actor, walks out, like has no superpowers because we never see him fly in or anything. He just emerges from a shadow. He's just like, how did I get here? I don't know. We also did the Hawkman hollow screen when Amanda Waller calls him in the very beginning when he's looking at all the, like the reports from like Black Adam. We did that, so I saw that, and that was in the trailer too. So that was like one thing we had to like rush out really quick.
Not gonna lie,
it's all stock footage actually.
Really
explosions and like the desert shots, all stock footage.
That's crazy to think about. But no, the one thing that happened to me I thought was funny. Do you know who Punchline is in the comics?
No.
It's like Joker's new girlfriend after Harley. So,
long
story short, when it started off with the tornado girl, like doing her breakdown, Cyclone, and it had her like boots like that, I'm like, why the fuck would they add Punchline here? Like, that's so dumb. And it's like, oh no, it's Cyclone. I'm like, okay, thank God. That does not make any sense.
Character.
Well, because I was like, it's connected to Waller, right? I'm like, well, Waller's already connected to Joker and Harley and all that.
Oh, when they were
like,
introducing Cyclone, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, maybe they're. I'm like,
I knew that was Cyclone because I saw that scene a couple months ago. Like, we did the, when she like goes to the door and like the doorbell like hologram scans her face. We did that as well. So, all right. Overall, my last minute overall thoughts. I didn't really like it, honestly. Like, I didn't really like Black Adam. It rushed through a lot. Like the pacing was definitely off, and they didn't really seem to know what they were doing with like the villain. And I do have to like caveat, like I am biased because I worked on this and The Rock came to my screening, but I still feel this way. Just a lot of reliance on like voiceover in the very beginning, and they were like telling and not showing.
I feel like they could have been more thought put into how things connected, and again like the overuse of things and stuff like that. But all in all, I think it was still a fun movie. Would I watch it again? Probably with Evan during like a special event, like a holiday or something.
We should do like a DC marathon, or just like I need to rewatch the DC stuff because I haven't watched a lot of them in a while.
Well, I haven't watched some of it at all. Like I haven't seen Joker, I haven't seen Shazam, I haven't seen Birds of Prey,
Aquaman.
I haven't seen Aquaman.
You need to go see. Yeah, I haven't seen Birds of Prey.
I'm not gonna lie, there's not much of a motive.
I know. Yeah.
And I think it's kind of sad too because Evan's like he's our resident DC guy.
fan.
And he saw what it was rated because it was like only 4.7 on Rotten Tomatoes or something.
Yeah,
like
it's not great.
And he's like, "Oh, it's just that because it's a DC film." And I'm like, after seeing it, I'm like, no, like I think it's a fun movie, but I can also understand that rating. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I don't know. I'm also worried that there's like the more I'm like analyzing films and like seeing movies and going into Hollywood, I'm like, am I just becoming too cynical? Like I used to just be able to like enjoy any movie, and I still can enjoy, I feel like, any movie, but I'm trying to like be more critical because I don't want to just be like every movie's great. And then when I'm eventually like making movies, I don't want to like just make a crap movie. I want to like understand like what makes a movie good and bad. So I think I'm trying to be more critical of it. So I think that's like comes with its pros and cons.
It's art at the end of the day, and it's about understanding.
So it's subjective, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's subjective, but at the same time, it's as an artist, it's important to understand technique and how things. What was the appeal of the work?
The Rock is the appeal.
Well, that's the thing. If it's just your actor, then it's not going to have a lot of appeal, just in general.
It is going to do well box office wise, I'm pretty sure. I think I saw some early predictions, and like it's doing really well overseas because like The Rock's just so huge, and he's been promoting this like crazy.
Technically, aren't we all in just one giant space rock? Isn't The Rock with all of us?
Wow. Yeah, I guess. All right. Well, you ready to jump into the next segment?
Yeah, what we got?
Do you want to talk about some news a little bit up top because we didn't do any pre-banter stuff?
Yeah.
Did your movie your screening have the Whitney Houston biopic trailer before it?
No.
I think it's like I Want to Dance with Somebody. I'm not a huge Whitney Houston person, but I'm enjoying like all the music biopics that have been coming out recently. Honestly, like Bohemian Rhapsody, Rocket Man, Elvis. I really liked them, so I'm down, and I feel like I learn a bit about the musician, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. Do you see the Creed 3 trailer?
Yeah, that one did show up.
Dude,
You like it?
Yeah, and dude, Jonathan Majors, the villain, he's the guy that plays Kang. He is huge. Like, Ant-Man is screwed. and also Michael B. Jordan is directing this, which I think is interesting and kind of cool.
I think I got some casting calls for it.
Oh, really?
Because you know, central casting is like code names, but like it's a code name, but then it says a project directed by Michael B. Jordan. So I'm like,
oh, really?
I'm pretty sure that's Creed. It's just sort of like, you know, being like in the arena or whatever. It's like background. But
that's cool. My dad's college roommate actually was in Rocky 4. I think it like there's like one shot.
Is that the one where they're in Russia?
Yeah.
Is that Rocky 3?
No, that's Rocky 4.
So your dad's roommate was a Russian bystander?
I think it was in the stadium for when Apollo like dies, like at the beginning when they're in like Vegas. So I think he was America. I think. I'm not sure. I have to check it out.
He was America.
I don't think I've seen Creed 2 fully, so I think I might need to go watch that.
That's the thing. I haven't really watched any of the Creed movies, so I'm being honest.
I like the Rocky movies, so I should go back and watch those.
That's the thing with these fighting movies, though. I don't know. I kind of feel like it's a fighting movie. It's going to just be the same thing over and over again. But at the same time, like the subplots and like the
motivation behind it, like who the opponent is,
they change
like,
each time, and I do like that aspect a lot.
Yeah, like Creed 2 was, I think it was Apollo, like, so Creed is Apollo Creed's son, and then the opponent was Drago's son. So it was the guy that killed Creed, like his dad, his son. So that is a cool, like, the two sons of the two opponents fighting. So that's cool psychology. And this one is like Jonathan Majors is like his childhood friend. So like what that
apparently
means.
took a hit for him.
Yeah.
And got jailed by the Fuzz for half his life.
Did you hear there's a new Percy Jackson book coming out?
Yes, I did actually.
Yeah, Rick Riordan.
What's the title of it though? Is there a
title?
I don't know.
Yet?
Percy Jackson and the Wet Willies.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's like it feels like that's like a water polo team name or something. The Wet Willies.
That'd be a good name for like anything that's like water sport based, because then you could just anytime you beat a like enemy team, you're just like
yeah,
like threatening them with like, oh, we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you.
and although you're already in a pool and your ears are like already wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do like some psychological warfare in like the locker room. Just 'cause yeah, so I think it's interesting that there's a new Percy Jackson book, and also I think that's gonna be pretty close to the same time that the new show comes out, so that'll probably be good press for both.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Like different mediums, like kind of working together to build awareness.
Is it gonna be the guy from the
Adam Project? He's Percy Jackson, the kid.
That's right. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's in Deadpool 3 also, that kid, because he's a big Deadpool fan and he like worked with Ryan Reynolds, and I think they like in interviews they seem to get along well. So I would expect to see him at least cameo. It'd
be funny if he like cameos and then like he just dies. Like in the movie, he's like,
oh, in the movie, I was like,
Deadpool,
what?
I love you. No. Like why in reality? Like I mean, like I'm saying, like imagine if he's like a fan or something somehow, like in the movie. It's like, oh my god, Deadpool, you're awesome, and then he just gets fucking like, annihilated.
Like the Vanisher comes back and like strangles him or something. Brad Pitt. I don't know. Yeah. What do you think of? I don't know if we talked about the news of Harrison Ford joining Thunderbolts as General Ross.
I think it's a good pick.
I think it's interesting because I feel like Harrison Ford hates any mainstream media. Like,
yeah,
he hates Star Wars, and now he gets asked about that
until
the end of time. Marvel. And now he's gonna get asked about Marvel till the end of time. I mean, they must have given him like a fat check.
How old is he even now?
He's 82, so he's older than William Hurt, who passed away, the previous actor to play this role. So,
oh damn!
But he's like a young 82, you know?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Indiana Jones as well, the new one.
Is he gonna be Indy?
Yeah, he's in it. I think he's super excited about it. There's apparently some Disney D23 stuff.
I can see it, like Indiana Jones playing with like a gramophone. It's like,
no, I think there's probably young cast that's also gonna do stuff. I don't know. Last bit of news I have before the next segment is that Andor is now officially the highest rated Star Wars show of 2022.
Oh, I still haven't seen the last episode.
Oh, really? On IMDb.
So
it's ahead of Boba Fett and Kenobi. So I think that's interesting.
No, I have seen it. And then he went back home. And
Yeah,
then
don't spoil it in case people haven't seen it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What time is this coming out?
Monday.
Okay, so yeah, fine. I won't spoil it.
All right.
Yeah, no, it's doing really good.
You ready to jump into next segment? TTTT.
Yeah, what do you
All right.
got?
I actually have one. So I found out why Cars 2 was one of the worst Pixar movies of all time.
Why?
So Cars 1 was not considered to be like one of Pixar's best films, but it was the most profitable by far, by like
For
billions
toys.
and billions of dollars. Yeah, because of the merchandise.
So what you're telling me is that Disney decided to focus, or Pixar focused on getting more characters in, so that way they can then sell more toys.
Yes.
Instead of focusing on story.
Well, not entirely. That's part of the equation. So yeah, the primary motivation going into the making of Cars 2, one of them was to sell more toys, not really to focus on like a good story. And then about halfway through production of Cars 2, the director working on it, Brad Lewis, announced that he was stepping down from the project. And then one of the founders of Pixar and the director of Cars 1, John Lasseter, announced he was taking over. So the creative vision was kind of like changed in the middle of production. So that's already like a little iffy. And this was right after, in the timeline of the grand scheme of things, right after Disney bought Pixar. And Disney had taken John Lasseter and given him new responsibilities to oversee Disney Animation Studios and the Disney Park Imagineering Studio.
So
to
he's
like
been busy.
Yeah, because they're also they were starting to do work on Cars Land, which is now like one of the main attractions at like California Adventure, whatever it's called. So his attention like was spread extremely thin between all these things. And in the middle of production, John Lasseter's father passed away. So he, again, like had to take care of a lot of family personal issues. And so he just could not devote like any of his attention to like the film. So yeah, just they didn't really focus on story, and Cars 2 ended up being like the spy mission. And it was like the perfect storm for like a bad film. Get it? Because Jackson Storm is the villain of Cars 3.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I haven't seen. I don't know if I've even seen Cars 2, if I'm being honest.
Oh my gosh, really? Well,
Like,
yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
But I think they learned the lesson for Cars 3 and really focused on the story that time. It's not like the best movie, but it's definitely better than Cars 2 in my mind. Yeah.
Noted. I'm trying to. All I'm remembering, wasn't there like a plane thing in Cars 2, and then
flame
also led
thing?
the planes.
Oh, a plane.
I don't
there was
know.
a plane, I think. I never watched planes. I don't know. All right, you ready to jump into the next segment, the draft?
Yeah.
So
I forgot what we're drafting this time.
we're doing Lego video games. Remember? I told you about this a while ago.
Yes,
All right,
you did. I forgot, but I have my list.
Okay, so this is a new segment, the draft, where it's like rank rally, but we'll go back and forth and discuss what our favorite. We draft teams for like our favorite of whatever the topic is, and that this week is Lego video games. So you go first this time.
Yes. Okay, so when I say this, if I say Lego Star Wars, do I have to be specific?
Yes, you have to be specific. You can't just take Lego Star Wars. It's the games, the individual games.
Okay, what was the? I'm trying to remember the first one that I had. That had like is the prequels.
The prequels was Lego Star Wars, the video game, 2005.
Was that like the first one ever?
Yes, the first one ever.
That is my first pick. I'm gonna go with Lego Star Wars, the video game.
That's a good pick.
Yes. And the reason why, dude, I remember this memory so vividly. I remember getting it from GameStop with my parents, going over to my grandma's house, and then like I was so excited. I don't know why I was like wanting to show her because she doesn't do anything with games. But I was like, look, and the disc popped out of the thing.
Oh my gosh!
And I was like in the driveway, and I was like,
dude, that's such a good pick. I mean, it started it all. It launched everything.
Yes.
But I'm going to go with Lego Star Wars, the complete saga. So
Yeah, I knew
that's
you were gonna say that.
the third
Yeah.
game in 2007 that included the prequels and the original trilogy. The original
Yeah. I was trying to say Original, but I was like,
original trilogy, yeah. So I'm gonna do that one.
Worcestershire
That one, like, I mean, it encompasses all of them. So like, I feel like that's a good pick there. And it's like the mumble mode, dude. All right, what's your next one?
Okay. I don't want to have them all be Lego Star Wars. I'm gonna do Lego Batman.
No, that was like my safe last round pick because I was like, he's not gonna choose Batman. I love that game, dude. What made you pick it?
It was like I think like the second Lego game I ever played. Ooh, wait, that brings up a good question. Hold on, you do your next pick. I'm gonna go on a tangent here.
Okay. I think my next one, I'm gonna choose then Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, the one that just came out last year. Or this year, sorry. I'm going to choose the one that just came out this year. Because, like, again, it encompasses everything. And it has the updated graphics. And I really enjoyed it. Like, the new kind of system. They, like, reinvented everything. So I have the complete saga, which is, like, the best of the old. And the Skywalker Saga, which I feel like is the best of the new. So that's why I'm choosing that.
Okay. I can respect that.
What's your next one?
Are you ready for my next pick?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out which one's which. Because there's a couple of these. I'm going to go with the OG. Because I remember the OG more. The Bionicle, the game, video game.
I am 100% okay giving you that, because I don't think I ever played that.
I know you've never played that, but
is that a Lego game?
Well, Bionicle's owned by Lego. Lego. So it's I mean, it's not like made by the same developers
TT
that do
Games?
all the other like. Yeah, it's not by TT Games.
Okay,
but
I guess you
it
can
is a
have
Lego
that.
owned property. So, and dude, this was like PS1. Or no, was it PS2? It might have been PS2. Either way, dude, it was like one of the first platforming games I had that also incorporated Lego. Like, this was like way before like the Lego Star Wars games.
Yeah,
and
it was 2003, it looks like.
Oh my god, dude. The worlds were so cool. It was so cool. I loved it.
All right, I'll give you that. I'm 100% okay giving you that. I'm surprised there's still a Lego Star Wars on the board, but because I already have the Complete Saga and the Skywalker Saga, I think I'm going to leave it on the board for now. So I'm going to go with Lego Indiana Jones, the first one. I played this game before I even watched Indiana Jones, but I just really enjoyed it. And it was nice seeing the familiar Harrison Ford Lego generic hair, from Lego Star Wars, but in Indiana Jones world. And the music, fantastic.
Yeah, I
forgot
forgot about that.
I played many hours of that one.
Yeah, same.
That's my third. What's your
fourth?
Hold
on. There was I believe it was the first one I liked better. I think it was Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Really? I don't think I played that one too much, or I might have played it for like a few minutes and was like...
You had like a whole arsenal of heroes, dude, and you were able to do all kinds... They all had their different abilities and stuff like that, and some of them could also like change costumes, like in and out of costumes. So it was really cool. Really cool.
All right.
Yeah. We're going to go with that.
I'm going to pick Lego Harry Potter then.
I knew you were going to say that. I'm okay giving that up.
This wasn't like my favorite, but I played this with my sister a lot and we had a good time with it. Like, I think this might have been the first one of the first ones where they like introduced like the split screen element. And that took me a while to get used to, like where the characters we could run in different places and not get like dragged in either direction.
Yeah.
And so that took me a little bit to get used to, but once I did get used to it, I was like, oh, this is a kind of interesting mechanic. And so I think that was a cool, I don't know, 4th round pick. I'm happy with that.
Builder's Journey.
What is that? Is that the new one?
That's like the new
that's such a weird artsy one. Of course you chose that
of course
one.
I'm gonna choose that one. I was like, I knew there's another one that I wanted, but I was like, where is it?
Yeah,
and I wanted that one because
I never really
remember when it
played
came out. It's a very simple, nice story.
It's very like pleasing to the eye.
Yes,
it's like ray tracing and stuff.
It's very satisfying.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. It's a totally different
fair.
Lego
2019
experience.
It came out. End of 2019, almost 2020.
I have some
niche
It was like
the last beautiful thing until the pandemic happened. It was like the last breath of fresh air, and then the pandemic slammed. Yeah. So okay, then I will choose. I'm gonna choose Lego Worlds. Then I think this is like a multiplayer one. Oh
my god, I forgot about.
Yeah, I played this with Tyler a few times, and it's fun. You just get to run around like a Lego world,
dude.
I haven't played it in a hot minute, but it's fun.
That is a freaking callback. Oh my god.
I think that's a solid 5th round pick. Snuck in there.
Oh wait, no, that's the new one.
Is there an old one?
There was an old multiplayer Lego game.
There's a story mode? Is this new? I need to play Lego Worlds again, apparently.
But I forget what it was. That game was a throwback.
I'm happy I got the Skywalker Saga and the Complete Saga. I'm super happy.
I'm
with
doing
that.
dude. I got like
you got your niche artsy ones, okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
It is crazy how fast TT Games churned out these Lego games. Like I'm just talking about the TT Games specific ones. Like I think it was 1 a year from 2005 to 2007, and then 2 in 2008, and then they churned out 3 games in 2011. Although none of the 2011 games did make it onto my list just then, so maybe they scaled too quickly. I don't know.
What were all the ones from 2011?
Lego.
Do you want to try Lego Worlds again?
I'm down. Yeah.
I don't think I ever tried it, actually. I think this is the new one I never tried.
I don't know which ones came out in 2011. All right, you ready to jump into the next segment?
Yeah.
We're going to do Patron shoutouts. Cue that big Star Wars music. Boosh, we got Patron Louie, Frank, Rick, Lisa, Evan, Tony. Thank you so much for pledging this here. This gets you the shoutout. Thank you, supporters over on Patreon. Thank you, down in the description. You get the audio episode early, special benefits, cool books, all that jazz, and more. Thank you sincerely to our Patreon supporters. We seriously, really, genuinely appreciate it. Yeah, ready to jump into cool comments.
Yeah, what we got this time?
So Josh McIntyre commented on our YouTube latest video, the video game movies episode. He pointed out that when we were talking about Pixels, the main kid from Pixels is Bruno from Miss Marvel. I never made that. I mean, I never saw Pixels, but I looked it up and it's true. Like Matt Lintz, the guy that I met him in person.
How old was he? Yeah, so have I.
I don't know. He's probably, definitely a lot younger, but yeah, he's like the kid from Pixels. We both met him in person. He's a cool guy.
He is a cool guy. It's just cool to say that we've met Miss Marvel and Bruno. Like, come on. Like, come on.
I met The Rock. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Yeah, ready to jump to the next stats reduction?
Yeah, tell me when.
When?
We just talk about whatever we want to talk about, and now we're done.
Thank you so much for listening. We seriously, really, genuinely appreciate it. Next week, we'll be back with Tales of the Jedi. I'm super excited that's dropping this week. We're going to be dressed up for our Halloween episode because it's dropping on Halloween. So stay tuned for that. Speaking of Halloween, we have that Halloween sale still going on. Check out our merch store, www.whateverwewant.podcast.com/shop. Enter the discount code BOO. That's capital B, capital O, capital O for 20% off. Ends November 1st. See you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.